Today we are going to learn about covalent naming. Our question of the day is what are a few ways you can distinguish between ionic and covalent bonds?
Remember, a covalent compound is one where a nonmetal is bonded to a nonmetal by sharing their electrons. Examples include NH3, CO2, and H2O. To name these molecular compounds, you only need to count the atoms and use prefixes to indicate the number. Yes, it really is that easy. The second element will have its name changed to end in "ide", just like with ionic bonding. This will tell you that the element has been bonded, kind of like changing the last name after getting married. There are a few little tidbits you need to look out for. For instance, if you only have one of the first atom, like CO2 for example, don't use mono, which is the prefix for one. This is called carbon dioxide, di meaning two. Also, if the name of the element with the prefix mono gives you a double vowel, A-E-I-O-U, you get rid of the vowel from the prefix. So let's look at CO, for example. Monoxide is not correct. It's monoxide. So CO is called carbon monoxide. So the prefix for 1 is mono, 2 is di, 3 is tri, 4 is tetra, 5 is penta, 6 is hexa, 7 is hepta, 8 is octa, 9 is nona, and 10 is deca. Let's look back at those initial examples of covalent bonds. NH3 has 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogens. So nitrogen trihydride. CO2 is carbon with 2 oxygens, so it's called carbon dioxide. H2O has 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, so we call that dihydrogen monoxide. Notice how the beginning element has a prefix unless there's only one. However, the ending element always has a prefix, even if there's only one. Also, all of these end in "ide". Let's try the show what you know example problems for naming covalent compounds. Let's start the first problem.
BrCl5. Br is bromine. There is only one of them, but we do not put mono on the first one. Cl is chlorine, which we need to change to chloride. 5 means we're going to use a prefix of penta, and we have bromine pentachloride. Now, what about SO3? S is sulfur. There's only one. We don't need a prefix. O is oxygen, which we change to oxide, and we use the prefix tri for 3, so sulfur trioxide. For number 3, we have P2O3, so we have 2 phosphorus or diphosphorus, and then we have 3 oxygens or trioxide. Now, look at number 4, As3P5. So As is arsenic. There are 3 of them, so we use tri. P is phosphorus, which makes it a phosphide when it's bonded, and there are 5 of them, so it's penta, triarsenic pentaphosphide. Let's look at number 5. We have IF7. I for iodine, F for fluorine, or fluoride in this case, and we don't use a prefix on the I because there's one. However, we do need a prefix for the 7 fluorines, and that would be hepta, so it's iodine heptafluoride. Let's look at number 6. We've got sulfur starting off strong. There's no prefix because it's only one. And for the second element, we have Br or bromine, which there are 6 of. So that becomes hexabromide. So sulfur hexabromide is number 6. Look at number 7. We have N2O5. That's 2 nitrogens or dinitrogen and 5 oxygens, which we change to pentoxide. So now we look at number 8. That's PCl3. P is phosphorus. Once again, no prefix needed. Cl is chlorine, or in this case, chloride, and 3 can be written as tri, so phosphorus trichloride. Once again, we only have a single of our first element, carbon, so there is no prefix. Then Cl is chlorine, and there's 4 of them, so our ending's going to be tetrachloride. Now let's look at number 10, PBr3. P is phosphorus, no prefix necessary, and there are 3 bromines, so tribromide. Now let's see if we can go backwards. This should be easy. Dihydrogen is H2, monoxide is just 1 oxygen, H2O. Sulfur is S, dioxide means 2 oxygens or O2, so SO2. Now we're looking at dibromine, so Br2, and monoxide, so just 1 O. And we are left with Br2O. Let's look at 14, diphosphorus pentoxide, di meaning 2, phosphorus, and pent is 5, oxide is oxygen. So P2O5. Now we look at 15. We've got carbon, no prefix, so there's just 1, and we've got tetrahydride or 4 hydrogens, so CH4. Number 16 is sulfur hexachloride. Sulfur is S, hexachloride means 6 chlorines, so SCl6. Now we look at 17, dinitrogen trioxide. Dinitrogen, 2 nitrogens, trioxide, 3 oxygens, N2O3. Number 18 is carbon disulfide. No prefix means it's just C, and disulfide means 2 sulfurs, or S2. So our final answer is CS2. Now, oxygen, no prefix, we're just going to write an O. Difluoride is 2 fluorines, or F2. So our answer is OF2. Now we want carbon tetrabromide. Carbon, no prefix, is just a C. Tetrabromide is 4 bromines, or Br4. So the compound is CBr4.